Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Collaborative Podcast. My name, as always, is Tyler, and this is our founder and CEO, timnihill. And it's been a minute.
Has it been a minute?
It's been a minute. Right now, we have the Olympics going on. Have you been paying attention?
I didn't even know they were happening until my television switched over to, what's that, curling? What's the shuffleboard on ice game?
Yeah, it's curling.
Yeah, there you go. I mean,
Canadians
I don't know. I
hate
haven't
you.
watched. Yeah, Canadians, whatever.
Canadians already hated you.
Yeah, they already hated me anyways. Nobody cares about Canada. No offense, but we don't.
Now they really hate you.
Yeah, I grew up in Buffalo. I know.
So it's personal.
Yeah, it's not even personal. So, how's that for the crypto collab? Let's
It's
talk
just
Olympics
business.
to start. Business first. I watch hockey. That's all I care about.
Yeah, hockey is the only... I was saying just before we were recording, hockey is the only shoot sport that is fun to watch.
Yeah.
There are two sports that are fun to watch, in my opinion, hockey and pro wrestling. And one is a shoot, one is a work, so both of them kind of each have their own appeal. But, most other shoot sports, I just, I can't get into. And there's all these new sports they keep adding for each new Olympics. They keep finding new obscure sports that are played by 4 people in some village in some obscure country. It's nobody watches this.
No, I mean, if you want to go on the poly market, and congratulations for any of the professionals listening to this that know what poly market is, you want to put money on something, put money on the Olympics going away. Guarantee that, or they're going to put spike ball in the Summer Olympics. That's a sport.
That's what you should put money on, is how many new sports are added to the Olympics.
It's not sport, it's drunken hobby.
Uh-huh.
It's like that, what's that game where you throw the frisbee at the garbage can?
What?
You haven't seen, it's Can Jam, I think it's called.
Is that
It's invented by a guy who was in Buffalo. Literally my family knows the guy.
Okay, so it's definitely
one of... a drunken idea. We're throwing frisbees. Let's throw them at a garbage can and cut a hole in them.
So it's not a real game. It's just one of those, I just thought of this. Let's do this.
No different than spike ball.
Yeah, pretty much.
Welcome to the podcast.
Exactly. But, we're talking about topical stuff. What's been going on sort of in the DeFi world that a lot of advisors kind of need to pay attention to.
Or
at least that you've seen.
DeFi, digital assets... I think we should expand upon what we're doing and what we're talking about. So Our crypto collaborative network is growing and it's expanding. We're not just working with financial professionals anymore. We're working with real estate agents and all sorts of offices, attorney groups, all sorts of stuff to help them understand the tokenization of assets and the next generation of technology and how their businesses are impacted, right? Elon Musk, Tony Robbins, blah, 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 anybody that's out there that knows something about something is all saying, for the most part, your job will not be around in 3 years. So there you go. If you're listening to this podcast, in 3 years, you're probably out of a job. It's already happening, right? And for example, I'll use this as an easy example. Tether, which is a crypto bank and stablecoin provider.
A crypto bank?
Yeah.
Explain to our listeners what that is, because in many ways, crypto defies banks.
You can look up crypto bank. I call them a bank. They issue a stablecoin, which is basically a digital dollar money market.
Oh, so it's a stablecoin issuer.
Sure. So Tether has one of the top 5 most profitable banks in the entire country. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Top 5. And I think they have $180 billion in assets.
Mm-hmm.
How much does JP Morgan have?
Let me look. I don't know off the top of my head. Let me look. How much?
Tether, top 5 company in terms of profitability.
JP Morgan right now
all banks
has over $4 trillion in total assets, anywhere from 4.4 to 4.6.
Okay, so at $180 billion, they're just as profitable as a JP Morgan. Tether has 300 professionals working for them, 300 employees. JP Morgan has 330,000
Well, when you say profitable, what do you mean by that? Because
Profit margin, net profit margin.
okay, so
They are top 5.
so even though J.P. Morgan has more like gross assets, their profitability is equal to Tether.
Yeah.
Shows a lot about what the hell J.P. Morgan's not doing.
330,000 people. That bank is going to fire 280,000 of them. You're a business owner, right? And let's say you have a lot of overhead, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the impact to all business owners, and this is the impact of Bitcoin, because I could buy Bitcoin every single week for my entire life, and I know I'll always be up. So my net margin on that investment, if I have it in my treasury, is 30 to 40% year over year, on average. Yeah, it's up some years, it's down some years. Who cares? It's part of my treasury, not the whole treasury. But by leveraging technology, putting digital assets in my treasury, and then adapting the new age technology and tokenization, my business becomes a million times more scalable. I can cut my workforce by 80%, and my profitability is a million times higher. That's it. It's period, end of story. Like, anyone out there hearing this, you don't have 5 years. This isn't something that's going to come slowly. It's a done deal.
Yeah, I mean, we've been saying for how many months now, this is here, this is happening. It's happened.
It's already happened. I had 2 people that are friends of mine that had venture capital come in and blow out their firms. And private equity and venture capital are taking everything over. So it's about the bottom line, baby.
It's insane how a lot of these massive names in the finance world are now being eaten up or like acquired or whatever by a lot of these new names that no one's ever heard of before.
Oh yeah, there has been an entire groundswell of companies that have been developed over the past 5 to 10 years that are your next generation of big companies.
5 years ago, did you know what the hell Oracle is?
Nobody did.
And now they own like the country basically.
Yeah. But when you
Larry Ellison and Peter Thiel, the two kings.
When you jump into the digital space, right? Opportunities and businesses are infinite. There's really no limitation and restrictions. So you're now going to be in a world where you have the adaptation of the next generation of technology. People like to call it artificial intelligence. And now you're going to get in the financial and real estate and even the corporate world is the tokenization of everything, right? So as an attorney, for example, and I did this presentation in front of a huge group in Atlanta a couple of years ago, and the real estate agents, attorneys, and they all hit their jaws hit the ground by the end of it. I should bring that presentation back out. And I just said, listen, by the year 2030, 90% of people in this room are gone. You're eliminated. And I showed them how.
Tough pill to swallow, I imagine.
Right. But now, guess what? Those same people are calling me back like, we need to figure this out. Yeah, you do. Because as an attorney, I warned you. I could use my technology to write a smart contract that makes it viable in any place across the world. Because I can slice and dice quantum amounts of information in the matter of seconds. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So my smart contracts are written by technology that can perform better than 99% of attorneys out there. Real estate agents, tokenization of real estate, right? And this is another one, a group we're expanding with and sending our message to. Okay, so all real estate's going to be listed on the blockchain. And in order to find properties, I don't need a real estate agent because I can transact directly with the owner.
Yeah.
Right? So how do you provide value in that system?
In the sense, why even is there such thing as a real estate agent? Like, these are questions that people are asking now.
Remember the damage that Zillow did, but remember the damage that Zillow did, and Redfin, and Apartments.com, and Homes.com. This next wave of technology is going to be 10 to 100 times more impactful.
Yeah, I mean, I had a friend who worked for a real estate agency, and it was so night and day. It's like, I mean, just talking about this is gonna sound stupid, but like it's talking about like the cultural zeitgeist, right? There was an episode of Family Guy that
Yeah.
aired, I want to say, a decade ago. It was a while ago, where I think it was the dog becomes like a real estate agent or something like
Yeah,
that,
right. Brian
and
becomes a real estate agent.
and it was a whole thing where like he basically was like making a ton of money, and it was a whole thing, and he had like a fancy suit and very fancy teeth, and it was like it was a whole thing, right?
Right.
Now fast forward maybe a year or two ago, I had a friend who was working in real estate, and he worked there. He worked for an agency for maybe a few months, and then he quit. And I asked him, "Why the hell did you let go of a real estate agency job?" And he was like, "That shit was a sweatshop.
It's a hard job.
It's a sweatshop." But the reason that real estate agencies now have to be sweatshops is because Zillow is driving them out of business.
Not only
They are
that,
unnecessary.
it's a massively commoditized industry. I have plenty of friends that just have been loading up on crypto for the last 5 years that are real estate agents, and now they're all pulling the trigger and getting out.
Yeah, I'm looking to get a new place myself. I'm looking on like apartments.com. I'm looking on like websites and stuff because that's just where everything is and it's all listed. I don't need to find some real estate agent in the classifieds and give them a call and have a consultation. I can just go on this website and look.
Right, and how do you provide... I don't like the word value. How do you provide alpha, if you will, gains?
What's your value add?
I hate value add because that is such a marketing term. I had every Tom, Dick, and Harry salesperson for 5 years come into my office trying to sell me something.
It's all
Let me
about
tell you
effervescent
about
synergy.
Our value add. I'm like, if I hear value add one more time, it's almost as bad as fiduciary.
It's all about effervescence, synergy.
Right. So you're a real estate agent, right? Now assets are tokenized, and this is anybody that's in a real estate transaction. My title is done by a computer. My contracts are done by a computer. So I just eliminated most title people. I also just eliminated real estate attorneys, and now on my payment system, it can be person to person, direct with somebody else, and I can come up with my own lending agreement and contract with them, have it backed by whatever I want to have it backed by as collateral, also using the house. And I just eliminated the bank.
Yeah.
So banker's gone, real estate attorney's gone, title insurance people are gone, real estate agents are gone. That's your future. And that's not just them. That's everybody. It's every industry across the world is going to get slammed by this next generation of technology. Your 9-to-5ers don't need them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, in that world of tokenization, financial advisors, your financial plans are already mathematically incorrect. Family offices are coming down market. So that market that's 500,000 to 25 million where most financial advisors play, they're going to get completely wiped out.
So
financial planning is getting wiped out, as it should.
Here's a question for you, and I think a lot of our listeners are going to want to know this. We've pretty well established the superiority of, just from an organizational perspective and from what it allows you to do, the superiority of the family office structure to the traditional wealth management firm structure. It's
Right.
not even close. But what I'm wondering is, how did you come to find that? How did you come to understand the family office structure and how it works and implement it? And then, what lessons did you take from that you think other advisors are going to want to know?
Yeah, so I first came across it years ago when I was reading, I don't even remember where I got this thing from. And it was talking about the biggest problem governments are trying to solve. Because it's legalized theft, right? They're self-serving entities. They're nothing than large corporations that, as Jack Dorsey would say, have a monopoly on violence. Taxation is extortion, no offense. And how people sell that to their children amazes me.
Mm-hmm. We've mentioned that as well.
Yeah, but when you when I was reading this, the biggest problem they had is they can't touch wealthy people's money. Because wealthy people have complete ownership of everything they have beyond borders, boundaries, and limitations, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, man, I want to be at that level of finance.
Mm-hmm.
I hate authority. I've never even given my parents authority over my life. I tried to run away when I was 4 years old. That's how dialed into freedom I am and being independent. It's just my nature. So I just thought about, like, watching what happened with the CFP, getting all these different designations where most of them are complete crap compared to what you actually have to do when you're sitting at someone's dining room and kitchen table trying to build their wealth, protect their wealth, and save them from tragic life events that happen. But then you come across really, really just poor work. There's a lot of bad work out there being done by advisors, being done by real estate agents, attorneys, bankers, like across the board. And it's all part and tied to this old system that now has completely fallen apart.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're out there as a professional. Ray Dalio, who started the biggest hedge fund of all time, is going around telling people the monetary system has collapsed. You will not have currencies anymore. You won't have a euro. You won't have a dollar, right? So if you're a financial advisor and your entire life is based on saving a dollar, your business just went broke. So you better adapt or you won't be here in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're $1 billion, $1.5 billion. I've been in the room with managers that manage billions of dollars that don't fundamentally understand money.
Mm-hmm.
They have no idea that there's no gold backing a US dollar. No clue. And they're managing billions of dollars.
But that was, I think, one of the things that I kind of wanted to hit on in particular. I was kind of curious about, especially that I think that our listeners are going to want to know, is like, what was the process for you of implementing the family office structure? What stood out to you about it, and then what can people take away from that?
The family office structure, I just saw it as the complete package for building family wealth. And the biggest thing for me is how to help people become their own bank. Right? Like, I worked inside of a bank and I've seen inside those four walls. Plenty of people on our team, your mom worked inside the banks, and the banks are like sausage and hot dogs. If you ever knew how they were made, you would never consume them.
Yeah, same reason I don't go to Subway anymore.
Right. So, I just, and I looked at it too, and I'm like, part of it too is, man, I grew up piss poor. My family didn't have money. I think when I was born, my dad had a 2 years associate's degree, and it was making $2 an hour. My mom didn't have a degree when I was born. They were like 19, 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And quite frankly, I got tired of being piss poor. And there's no financial planner out there that can take you out of poverty. And for everybody out there that's coming into wealth, especially like people in the tech industry, the next generation of wealth, they're laughing at financial planners. Right? Like, I had one situation that someone came to me and they have a client, she's 30 years old. She just made $27 million on a tech project. And they went in with their typical diversification, asset allocation. She laughed at them. She goes, I don't think you understand. I made $27 million. I'll make another 50, no problem. Making money is not hard when you get aligned and in tune with the money. And then you start to ask the real questions of, really, what is this person doing for me? And when you look at it, I could buy life insurance from anybody. When you look at it, I could pay Fidelity to manage my market stuff for 1%, and I'll have a person that's in there 9 to 5 that's a glorified banker patting me on the back, making me feel good about it. Right? Yeah, do I buy into that plan of oh, financial planning, you're going to go to zero at this point in time or whatever. Not really. And the other thing, which is the great thing about technology, is the bad attorney work that's out there. I mean, you could run contracts through, and I'm talking about like real AI, not the public AI that's out there like ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you develop your own AI system and
Yeah.
have it internally, the power of it is nuts.
The kind of AI that like you see on Twitter sometimes, and you're like, how the hell do people do that? I don't know where you can find that.
Right.
Because you can't find that.
And it avoids mistakes. Like I ran into a situation with a client we ended up inheriting because they had bad attorney work. They literally, it was a bad situation. The brother passed away. The son was in rehab, and the attorney for some reason wrote, well, if the son passes away within 3 months of the father passing away, then all the family money goes to the sister who everybody in the family hates.
What?
It was nuts.
What?
So all of a sudden, the son ODs in rehab.
Mm-hmm. Which is entirely possible.
45 days later. All the family wealth, instead of going to the brother who's been managing the estate and trust the entire time, watches everything go out the window.
How much money did the sister pay that attorney?
I don't know who wrote that original document, but I was floored. So the great thing about the next generation of technology is these problems are going to solve themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be up on it. And then think about this. How many financial advisors and financial professionals can talk about digitized assets? How many can talk about what polymarket is? How many can talk about this whole next generation of probability scanning that's going to happen when deciding investments?
Mm-hmm.
Technology is going to run the public markets for you, for the most part. So what do you bring to the table?
So in many cases, advisors' jobs are going to become easier, but only if they understand how.
They have to adopt the family office structure.
And if they do, it's going to become much easier
And
for
then
them.
they're going to have to adopt to the tokenization of assets. So you're going to have to get up on blockchain. You're going to have to build your entire infrastructure around technology.
Yep.
So these legacy platforms that they've been using, firms have been using for 40 years, has to be gutted. On top of that, you have to look at your employees and understand that you're going to replace them. Right? So I was with a broker-dealer, and I don't need an asset management team, or I don't need a due diligence team.
Mm-hmm.
My AI technology that I have now for due diligence is beyond anything that anybody can give me.
Yeah,
it's custom.
We do our double D in-house, we do our compliance in-house, it's all in-house.
Instead of me having to read 350 pages with a couple other people internally, I've programmed my technology to run the entire thing.
Yep. And then you just have a
way more accurate because it can scan 330 pages without getting tired.
Yep.
And it knows specifically what we've programmed it to in order to tell us where the red flags are.
And then all compliance has to do is just proofread.
And then the kicker is the depth of analysis on the executive team. Because that's massively important when you're doing private deals. So I can scan an infinite amount of data on one particular investment by clicking one button. I only have to upload the prospectus. So I could take 3, 5, 1,000 pages of data and get a report that has an entire scoring system which tells me everything I need to know. So guess what? With our previous broker-dealers, I replaced your due diligence team. I only need the people that know how to know what we're looking for.
Yep.
And program the technology.
It's very similar to manufacturing, how that developed in the last 5-10 years. In the sense that there's a lot of these jobs that they're not necessarily going away, but they're changing in the sense that now instead of knowing how to do the job, you need to know how to run the machine that does the job.
Right. The people that know how to communicate between the machine and the end user are the winners.
Yep.
So,
and you can never fully let the machine do everything, because if you fully let the machine do everything and it becomes sentient, then we all die.
Right, and go back to, okay.
You ever heard of Molt Book?
Yeah. So go back to...
They're already getting there. God help us.
You're a financial advisor, you ran a financial plan, and you're illustrating out to, let's say, 100 years old. Well, in 3 to 5 years, there's not going to be cancer, there's going to be stem cell, and we're going to have a pill where we can alter our own DNA. So,
you know they've cured pancreatic cancer, just straight up?
Yeah.
It's gone.
It's all curable.
They, like, literally, as of the past week, I think they cured pancreatic cancer.
Right. So now humans are going to live to 150 to 350 years old. Plan for that. Wealth management can't do... Like, wealth management plans in today's time can stretch a family's legacy out on average between 1 to 3 years. You need to now go 7 to 10 generations out. That's 700 years of planning.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you're a professional in any way, shape, or form, especially a financial professional, you got to think, wow, I have to think out 700 years from now. And then what you have to do is you have to go back 3,000 years. And what works over time? Asset protection, tax strategy, ownership.
Mm-hmm.
And across all times, it's consistent with all families that generate wealth and have wealth.
The very first economies...
Sound money.
The very first economies were literally organized around those three principles in, like, the late Bronze Age. If you look up the palace economies of the late Bronze Age, they were literally structured around those three principles. And I say literally not just like to emphasize, but literally. I mean, truly literally, in the most literal way, because there were literal palaces that were created as the physical foundations of this structure. And now, fast forward a few thousand years, now we have a digital foundation for this structure.
We do. And it's all digitized and it's all available in the next generation of technology. So if you're out there as a professional, you have to understand that everything that's been done for the last 100 years is over.
Mm-hmm.
And really, when you look at it, like, don't even think about your clients. Look at it for yourself. And come to the perspective, wait, in 3 years I won't have a US dollar? Yeah, in 3 years you won't have a dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't know why people are surprised by this, because they tell you that inflation's 3% a year. What does inflation mean? Well, it means I lose 3% of the value on my dollar currency year over year, which over the course of 30 years, you're down 90%.
So what is the point of a dollar?
The dollar is worthless, and the math is becoming known. It's apparent. Look at the volatility of the markets across the board.
Oh yeah, and if the dollar
Bitcoin dropped, really? So did silver. Silver did the same thing.
If the dollar is so
trades like a meme stock.
Like if the dollar is so worthless and that's the reserve currency, that's not even factoring in all the other currencies that depend on it. Those are even worse.
They're all the same currency anyways.
Exactly.
There's no difference between the yen, the dollar, and the euro. It's all the same currency system.
Mm-hmm.
So when you understand currencies and you understand monetary policy and how it works, you 1,000,000% change how you think, how you invest, how you recommend, and how you give advice. And the tokenization of everything is going to wipe out everything that's done. So as a professional, it's a Moneyball moment. You're gonna have to adapt or die. Everybody thought, was it Billy Bean and Moneyball? Like the metrics.
You and Moneyball.
Hey, everybody thought, oh, this is a load of crap. But guess what? Every single professional major league team uses that system and those mathematics. Those mathematics are now coming to real estate, legal work, and finance. So, as a professional, you don't have time to wait anymore. You better get schooled up on crypto and Bitcoin in a hurry. Because I think I saw even Chase this week came out. JP Morgan said Bitcoin's the greatest investment opportunity for the next 10 years. And the rebuttal is, oh, but it's down. No, it's not down, dude. You know that Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, and all the shadow banking system and hedge funds drop the market so they can buy in.
And this is JP Morgan Chase, which historically has been the most crypto skeptical bank in the entire world.
They talk out of both sides of their ears because they have to play the house that is on that side and then the bigger side of the house, which is on the other side of the trade. And I hear that had they not manipulated the markets over the past 3 months and brought the silver price back down to $70, they had a massive short position that would have liquidated and put them out of business. And firms like MicroStrategy, right? And this is what people and investors are waking up to. MicroStrategy.
I think they're just called Strategy now, aren't they?
No, well, yeah. I call them MicroStrategy, but oh my God, their price is down.
It's like X and Twitter. It's still Twitter.
Their price isn't down. There's such a massive amount of short positions from JP Morgan, for example, that they're suppressing the price. You don't have real price discovery in the public markets because of all the leverage that's used. Paper ETFs for gold and silver exposures, there's like 250 times leverage on every dollar that goes into those things. Price of silver runs and you get a massive liquidation on the price of silver or on the silver ETFs. Like, yeah, buy State Street's or iShares silver ETF, watch silver go to 1,000. Everyone's going to cash out of that position at the same time, and they're going to freeze the position because there's no silver to back it.
Exactly.
They don't have the money to back it. That's a problem. And the next wave of technology is going to solve this problem for us.
Exactly. I think that's a good place to end up on, unless you have anything else you want to add.
Yeah, I mean, transparency brings volatility. So the swings are going to get higher and lower for every asset across the world. And at the same time, like, if you're out there and you're not 65 to 70 years old as a professional, better adopt in a hurry.
Yeah.
Like, don't believe me? You want to go to Tony Robbins or Elon Musk because they have so much financial industry experience? Don't listen to one of your own. Go listen to them. They'll tell you the same thing. And I mean, if you're out there as a professional and a finance person, if you haven't seen Tony Robbins' Holy Grail of Investing, it exposes you as a financial planner.
Yeah, and I mean, we did a whole video on it on our sister channel, so I'll be sure to link that as well. Definitely go watch that. We kind of did like a book report on it, if anything.
Right, and that's the thing about the family office is that structure, we do the Holy Grail of Investing. It's like Tony wrote that book for us.
Pretty much.
And we have just figured out how to bring it down market. And there will be more firms like us that are coming because we're talking with them every single day.
Exactly. So if you want to join the Crypto Collaborative, subscribe to our newsletter. Obviously, be sure to check out our website, check out our newsletter. Links, as always, are in the description. But my name is Tyler.
Tim, our next two podcasts, tokenization of real estate and why broker-dealers are going out of business.
Yep, those two are big ones. Definitely going to want to cover those. But look forward to it, and we'll see you around.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining us.